Lucha, do it for tuning in. Just having a little bit of tea. Lucha, do it for tuning in. All right. Okay, well, I want to, again, Uja, greetings, Ubenefer. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Arit Tachia Amet, and I have started following the Unitarian calendar of holy days to make these musical offerings. And I'm really enjoying it, and it's turning out to be a really wonderful experience for me. So, according to this calendar, today is the day. Today is the day that we remember when Aset went forth on her journey. And these holidays are new to me, so I'm just learning as I go along. I'm literally studying right up until the minute before his presentations because I want to know more. So, so I looked up Aset goes forth. I looked up Isis goes forth, and I really didn't find a lot of information other than when I had scheduled this live session. There is one website. Let's see if I can pull it up here. There's one website. This is harmonyhealing.com.co.uk that says the going forth of Aset holiday is either Saturday, October 7th, or well, not Saturday. It's either October 7th or October 10th. And on my calendar, it says October 10th. And it says, apparently her heart is pleased on this day because the heritage is granted to her son, Heru. On this special day, a specially selected team of priests and priestesses would commence a procession to take their most treasured image or statue of Isis to another temple with many plant stops en route. At each stop, a sacred rite would be performed by the priests and priestesses, and often divinations would be offered. When the final temple destination was reached, the image or statue would be placed in an honored location and a joyful festival celebration would ensue. And that's all that I found online about going forth of Aset or Aset goes forth. So let's see what we come up with today. I've been a student of Sema Institute, Temple of Chateau Neter, for about 11 years now. Is it 11? Yes, 11 years. And I am taking a break from my formal studies to offer this music Shetty program. As part of my music Shetty is sharing this music. So like I say, your presence here is a gift to me. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. So I'm going to start with our regular opening chant. Before reading from the Purdon Baru, we're instructed to read, to offer two chants. Here at the Temple of Asmatashi, the Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds, we offer chants to three neters, Nevager, Kemperna, and Asar. And on programs, on days like today, I combine those three into one chant. So it's Om, Nevager, Kemperna, Asar, Om. And you can sing along with me or chant along with me. I know I can't hear you, but sing along. Om Namaja Kepra Saro. Om Namaja Kepra Saro. Om Namaja Kepra Saro. Never give us sorrow. 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 Oh, never just give us sorrow. Oh, never just give us sorrow. Oh, give us sorrow. Oh, never just 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 give us sorrow. Nebuchadnezzar is the all-encompassing divinity who thought creation into being by coming into the form of Kepra, the creator, who then in turn sent out rays of Nebuchadnezzar in the form of Ra, the creation. And then also Nebuchadnezzar came forth as a human form, as a star, who lived out his life and then became the king of eternity, the universal soul. And all those forces live within us. And when we offer these chants or music or in our actions, we invoke the deities within us. And they are cosmic forces of nature. Just like we have gravity and electricity and magnetism, we have the cosmic force of the Creator. We have the cosmic force of truth and the cosmic force of spiritual aspiration. Okay, so like in that reading earlier, I mentioned it was mentioned about sailing up the Nile for the procession. It was a quote. Well, I guess it doesn't say they were sailing. I missed them sailing. They would commence the procession to take their most treasured image or a statue of Aset to another temple with many planned stops en route. And right away, I just envisioned them sailing up the Nile. So the next song I'm going to offer is called Sailing Up the Nile. And this song appears on one of my CDs. And it's literally it's literally a page taken out of several of the books by Seba Dr. Modash. Page 15. Oh, this is on page 15 of African Religion, Volume 4, The Assyrian Resurrection. And so these are literally just the words from the text put to music. And that is that if I was going to call something about my music a gift, that would be one aspect, is that I'm able to connect with teachings of the four directions, and I've been studying Kemet for about a decade now, and putting them to music. I've played this song on the piano. I've never played it on the harp. I didn't even. Um, this is a new melody. I don't even know what the melody is. Let's sail up the Nile within the tattoo. Let's sail up the Nile within the tattoo. Sau anu menafa sakura. Aket atanatin abdu tendera. Wasted and fu bilaye. Nedra puta pyramid. Aton asar hetero. Amun heru Aset. Let's sail up the Nile with the Netaru. Let's sail up the Nile with the Netaru. Sau anu menafa sakura. Aket atun abdu tendera. Was it that fulfilling? Let Raputa pyramid. Aton asar etaru. Amun heru Aset. Good job. Do it for tuning in. Do it for being here. Your presence is a gift. The next offering for Goddess Aset going forth is another hagao I learned from the Temple of Ascent. Puja. Find yourself. Mahes Emotep Sutek. Oh, okay. Well, I'm so glad you found horoscopes in my work that I've been doing. Okay, so this next offering is another hagao I learned from the Temple of Aset. I'll read the translation first. The blood of Isis, which is the seat of her life power. This is the words of power of Aset. Isis is the Greek name for Aset. This is the instrument of her power. This is the shining spirit divinity of Aset, the essence of her divinity. And the blood of Isis, the blood of Aset, is often represented with carnelian stone. Actually, I have a carnelian stone. stone right here. Oops, I'm gonna knock down my microphone. I have a beautiful piece of red carnelian I keep on my altar. So I'm gonna keep that in my lap. Alright, and then I have the system. This is the musical instrument from ancient Kemet. It's got Petru representing the heart chakra, and then the throat chakra, first eye, and the crown chakra. And then ancient Egyptian language, that would be Kepra, the heart chakra, Sekhem, the throat chakra, Mer, the first eye, and Ik is the crown. So yes, in case you weren't aware, that even the chakras originated in ancient Kemet. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku and Ascent. Wonderful and Ascent, Echo and Ascent, Aku 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 and Ascent. Do a Aset. Sepik Bara. Okay, now we're going to have some readings from the teaching of Aset. So this reading is taken from the Mysteries of Aset and Ra, by Dr. Marta Ashby, Say by Ma. And there's a wonderful class available at the Kemet University Temple of Aset class. And once you, go through the introductory level courses, I highly recommend you studying this class. It's one thing to read the book, it's another thing to have the spiritual preceptor there to guide you along the journey. And so this reading is from page 81 and page 82. Because we're talking about the time in the life of Aset when she went forth. Let me go back to that part. Apparently her heart pleased on this day because the heritage is granted to her son Henry. So the first reading is going to be about when let's say a covenant or a pact between Aset and Ra. And then the second reading is going to be when it was granted to her son. So the heritage that was granted to her son. And I didn't get to. Okay, well, usually what I do is I offer a chant along with the teachings. I don't have one prepared, so it's another spontaneous. I'm just going to use the system. I only have two hands. So I'm going to read the English first, and then I'll do the offering. So this is section 17, verse 114. Shedi of Neferhetep, resting in the divine abode, throne of Ra. Aset restores Ra to health with special words of power to heal the mind and soul, hurt by the delusions of life, and thereby allows creation to revert back to its illusory form, and Ra returns to creating, sustaining, and concluding the days and years as before. And then this next page of this section, verse 117, Aset provides instructions for anyone wishing to follow this path by a ritual that includes uttering the words of power she used with the intent, feeling, relentless intensity she applied, all to be done in front of special images. So if you want to get the actual teachings, you'd have to buy the book and take the class. I'm just here to offer musical offerings and share wisdom teachings that hopefully will inspire you to either begin or further your studies of self-knowledge and these amazing teachings. I think I should write this out. Don't know if I printed it out. Just take a minute to see if it's available. I remember typing it. Let's see if this is it. No. I guess not. Just don't see it. Okay, I don't see it. Okay, well, I'm sure I'll find it later today. Okay, I'm just going to use this section for now. Just one more place. Okay, I don't see it. Okay, and this is the last. These are the last verses in this scripture. Oh, I didn't do the translation. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Okay. The great divine named his own. May Ra live and may the poison die. Well, let me just give a little backdrop. Um, Aset had become bored with life, frustrated with life on Earth, because she was still a human at this time. And she devised a strategy to become like Ra. She wanted to know the name of Ra, because if she knew the name of Ra, she would know the essence of Ra. So she devised a plan involving a snake she made out of shepi, taffy shepsy that had a poison. And she had the antidote. And she told Ra, tell me your name, tell me your essence, tell me how I can be like you, and I'll give you the antidote. And so it's a long story. And this comes at the end of that entire experience when she has been given the name of Ra, and Ra has, um, you know, coming back to life. The great divine name his own, may Ra live and may the poison die. Having achieved the goal of life, the fruit of her dispassion, detachment, and concentration on his form, function, and nature, the one-pointed sacred serpent discipline had served its purpose, and now the world was no longer a source of delusion, since her existence is now like that of Ra. The magician is not deluded by his own magic. So Ra, the creation, can continue without deluding her. And conversely, there is a firm binding trust now between a certain child of a certain woman, so that for so for so that for that child, and also when the time comes, may the poison die too. These words are by Aset, the great mistress of the gods and goddesses, she who is the knower of Ra's own divine name. She instructs that these words of this teaching are to be spoken over an image of the god Temu, along with an image of Heru the Proclaimer, and also over an image of the glorious and exalted goddess are set together with an image of Heru. So another reality, I would push a button and the image would show up and you would be able to see it. So for now, you'll have to, get this book, take a class, and study on your own. And I'm just a woman who's offering musical offerings and sharing wisdom teachings. I'm not any way a teacher. And again, these views are the views of the artist and not the views of SEMA Institute. Okay, so now I'm going to recite this scripture. This is my sister. Do Ascent. So basically, Aset went through this entire experience to learn the name of Ra, to know the essence, and she established a path for us to do the same. So when we follow this path, this journey of Aset in our daily life, we can have we have the potential to have a similar outcome. And what she did for her son Heru, she does for us. What she did for Heru, she's doing for us, and she will continue to do for us. So Aset represents divine intuition, Heru represents spiritual aspiration, and Ra is creation, which when you study the sacred text, you will come to know is an illusion. My heart is still fluttering. My womb is fluttering. Okay, just give me a minute. It looks like there's comments. Don't have speakers. Does that mean you can't hear? I guess it means you can't hear. I hope the rest of you can hear. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move to the Asarian resurrection. Good job. Sue for tuning in. Now we're going to move to a reading from Sidbar. I don't know why somebody's trying to call me right now. I'm not able to talk on the phone right now. We can certainly talk later, or you can put your comments in the chat. But I'm not going to answer the phone right now. But thank you for tuning in. You can hear thank you. Okay. Now this reading might be a little long. I don't know if I'm going to. Well, I'm going to say that. This might be a little long. Here we go. So this is from African Religion, Volume 4, Asarian Theology. Page 102. And I have this as an ebook, so I can't show you the cover right now. I'm just going to be reading a few passages and then have a few more musical offerings. So this is, if you tuned in to the program last night, the Ra judges the dispute of Heru and Set. That was a time when Heru was battling Set. And in this passage, this is a time when Heru was a baby and was bitten by a scorpion. And so at this time, Heru was the one that had been poisoned. And so if you remember the first time, there was a trust between Aset and Ra that in the future times, Heru would also be cured of the poison. And at that time, we don't know what they're talking about. So verse 51. Then Jehuti came to Aset and told her that no harm could possibly have happened to Heru, for he was under the protection of the boat of Ra. But his words failed to comfort Aset, because, her baby had been poisoned and she's traumatized. Even though she's the goddess, it's still really difficult to accept that your baby has been poisoned and is dying or is going to die. But his words failed to comfort Aset, and though she acknowledged the greatness of his designs, she complained that they savored of delay. Quote, "What is the good," she asked, "of all thy spells, incantations, and magical formula, and the great command of Makaru, if Heru is to perish by the poison of a scorpion and to lie here in the arms of death? Evil, evil is his destiny, for it has entailed the deepest misery for him and death," unquote. Aset. In answer to these words, Jehuti, turning to Aset and Nebuchadnezzar, bade them to fear not. and to have no anxiety about Haru, for, said he, I have come from heaven to heal the child for his mother. And Jehuti said, fear not, O goddess Aset, fear not, O Nebuchadnezzar, and let not anxiety be with you. I have come from heaven, having the power of life to heal the child for his mother. Let thy heart be firm. He shall not sink under the flame. He then pointed out that Heru was under protection as the dweller in his disk Aten, the great dwarf, the mighty ram, the great hawk, the holy beetle, the hidden body, the divine Bennu, etc., and proceeded to utter the words of power to restore life back to Heru. So remember, we are Heru in this myth. We're living out our life as the Heru. And so we also have this powerful protection. So the illustrations show images of Aset and Nebuchadnezzar over Heru, over the dead, oh, over, and this is the image of them over, oh, okay. It's showing the image of them over the body of Asar, illustrating how it would look over the body of Heru. And going down further, verse 53. Oops, not too far. And Jehuti said, wake up, Heru, the protection is established. Make happy the heart of thy mother Aset. The words of Heru shall bind up hearts. He shall cause to be at peace him who is in affliction. Let your hearts be happy, O ye who dwell in the heavens. Here he who has redeemed his father shall cause the poisons to retreat. Verily that which is in the mouth of Ra shall circulate, and the tongue of the great God shall repulse opposition. The boat of Ra standeth still, and traveleth not onwards. The disk is in the same place where it was yesterday to heal Heru for his mother Aset. Come to the earth, draw near, O boat of Ra, make the boat to travel. O mariners of heaven, transport provisions of Sekhem to heal Heru for his mother Aset. Hasten away, O pain which is in the region around about, and let the boat descend upon the place where it was yesterday to heal Heru for his mother Aset. So this is the time when Aset found the body of Heru, found her baby had been poisoned, and she wailed out the cry that stopped the boat of Ra, the bark of Ra that travels across the sky each day. And the cry was so penetrating that, the boat stopped. Can you see all the Netanyahu on the boat going, what was that? And then time stood still for 3 days. And so I've never thought about this before, but when does that happen? When time seems to stand still, when we have things like eclipses, and on the solstice, the sun stops and rises in the same place for 3 days, and then it takes its journey back in the opposite direction. And then on the equinox, time balances out. We have equal day and equal night for 3 days. So that's really interesting. I never made that connection before. Okay, verse 54. It's just a few more verses. I don't do that. Sometimes the cursor gets a mind of its own and it just scrolls off. I am Jehuti, the firstborn son, the son of Ra and Tem, and the company of the gods have commanded me to heal Heru for his mother Aset, and to heal him that is under the knife likewise. O Heru, thy ka protecteth thee, and thy image worketh protection for thee. The poison is as the daughter of his own flame. It is destroyed because it smote the strong sun. Your temples are in good condition, for Heru liveth for his mother, and he who is under the knife likewise. Verse 55. And the goddess Aset said, set your face towards those who dwell in the north land, Ate, and the nurses who dwell in the city Petet Buto, for they have offered very large offerings in order to cause the child to be made strong for his mother, and to make strong him that is under the knife likewise. Do not allow them to recognize the divine Ka in the swamp land. Then spoke Jehuti unto the great gods who dwell in the swamp land, saying, O ye nurses who dwell in the city of Pe, who smite fiends with your hands, and overthrow them with your arms on behalf of that great one Ra, who appeareth in front of you in the septet boat. Let the Mont- Montket boat travel on. That's the bark of Ra. Haru is to you, for is counted up for life, and he is dedicated for the life of his father Asar. I have given gladness unto those who are in the septet boat, and the mariners of Ra make it to journey on. Haru liveth for his mother Aset, and he who is under the knife liveth for his mother likewise. As for the poison, the strength thereof has been made powerless. Verily I am a favored one, and I will join myself to his house, the time of need, to hurl back the report of evil to him that sent it forth. The heart of Rahetakuti rejoiceth. The sun Heru is counted up for life, to make him to smite and to repel from those who are above, and to turn back the gods of the Sebao fiends from him, so that he may take possession of the throne of the two lands. Ra is to heaven to make answer on behalf of him and his father. The words of power of his mother have lifted up his face, and they protect him and enable him to go round about wheresoever he pleaseth, and to set the terror of him in celestial beings. I have made haste in answering to these words. Okay. Verse 56. And so Jehuti transferred the fluid of life of Ra, and as soon as this came upon the child's body, the poison of the scorpion flowed out of him, and he once more breathed and lived. When this was done, Jehuti returned to the boat of Ra. The gods who formed its crew resumed their rowing, and the disk passed on its way to make its daily journey across the sky. That's all I'm gonna read today. That's the end for us today. This concludes our listening to the teachings for today for Aset Goes Forth. Yes, I sincerely believe in past lives and that we're here to purify our heart, our RU from the impressions from our past lives that compel us into more and more situations of entanglement and egoism. And um, that's our RU. So the essence of our past lives is contained in our RU. And so we're here to purify our heart and our feelings. And I'm learning how to stop thinking with my mind and feel my heart, which is a little brain in the heart. So to me, my thoughts are my feelings. My pure thoughts, my thoughts of oneness are my feelings. And my thoughts of duality is in my brain and mind. So that concludes listening to the teachings. And now we have some devotional music to close in our program. This is the Heck Out, the healing chant in the Temple of Aset, and it came about during a time when one of the temple members had been in a car accident, and we were advised to um, offer this Heck Out for her healing, and this melody came through. And I learned the melody on my other harp, but it's broke. It's no longer with me. So I haven't learned it very well on this one. In fact, the melody that I'm playing right now is just coming through. Let's see, some more comments. Um, did Asar and Aset visit all land masses? Um, that is my feeling and senses. That's what I've been taught by Dr. Ashby Sevana and what research I've done. There's remnants remnants of this Natarian tradition in all parts of the world, even before colonialism came into play. So it seems so. If I was there, like on the boat or something, I don't really remember exactly the details, but I definitely feel it in my heart, in my soul, in my DNA, and in my truth. I feel it there, but I can't like point to any particular object and say, see, this was here. They say that the ivy growing in India came from ivy that's only found in Kemet or in Africa. So, what happened to Sunday morning worship? Sunday morning worship with the Temple of Aset. I have taken a break from the temple activities to um, develop my music study practice and organizing all the songs that I've written and all the teachings and being able to share them with you. So I don't know up to the date what has happened to the Sunday morning worship. I know they took a break this summer. As far as I know, they're back online. I still get notifications of the replays available. So I suggest you tune into EgyptianYoga.com, or you can find them on Instagram and Facebook. But I can't give you exact information on that. And there's many ways to spell Asar. Ausar, Aser, Auser. As long as you have the ASR, you're on the right track. Okay. So the translation for this chant is Dua Sekmet, power of the life force energy. Dua Aset, lady of wisdom and healing words of power. Do for this child life, vitality, and health. Dua Sekmet, Dua Aset. Arines, Aku Jasene. Dua Sekmet, Dua Aset. Arines, Aku Jasene. It's coming. Dua Sekmet, Dua Aset. Sacrament do Aset. Do for this child life, vitality, and health. Attempt. Okay, well, the idea was there, just didn't come through right now. The rhythm, I wasn't getting the rhythm. Let me try with this other harp. Tu as comme tu as Arime Akujasene Tu as comme Tu as Akujasene Tu as comme Tu as Akujasene Tu as comme Tu as Akujasene 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 Alright, that one felt much, much better. Do a tap. Okay. Now I have the speech of Ascent. And this is a prayer to Aset, who protected her brother Asar. So this is about protection. And these are also taken from the Temple of Shaitan, Enter Temple of Aset teachings and music. Well, some of the music is original, come through me, and some is teachings from the temple that I went to music. Okay, so here's the prayer to Ascent. O benevolent Aset, who protected her brother Asar, who sojourned without weary, who traversed the land in mourning and never rested until she had found him. She who afforded him shadow with her wings and gave him air with her feathers, rejoiced and carried her brother home. She revived what was faint for the weary one, who received his seed and conceived an heir, and who nourished him in solitude while no one knew where he was. So let's just take a minute to acknowledge how powerful Goddess Aset is. First of all, she tricked Ra. Okay, it's maybe not the most respectful way of saying that, but it's true. She tricked Ra, poisoned him, and had the antidote. So right there, that's super powerful. Because at that time, she was still, quote unquote, just a lady. She wasn't even a goddess yet. Well, I guess by the time she gave him the antidote, she had learned the name of Ra and became the goddess Aset. But still, even to come up with a plan is amazing. And then when her son had been bitten by a scorpion, she just called out. She cried out. We don't know what she said or what the word was. It was a wailing, like, I can only imagine. And it stopped the boat of Ra. It stopped day. It stopped time. It stopped the boat of Ra. It stopped everything. And then Jehuti was sent to, do his thing to bring Harry back to life. Because I imagine when you're traumatized, if I'm going through trauma, I'm not going to pull out my tuning forks and, you know, you're in a trauma state, so or a shock. So Jehuti came and offered his words of power and healed the heart of Aset. And then when her husband Asar was killed, she went out and first of all she found the body and brought it back to life and conceived Jehu. And then after the body had been torn apart, she and Nebuchadnezzar and Anpu went out and found all the pieces and put them back together except for one, and he became the king of eternity. So Aset represents our divine intuition. It's the power of our intuition. It's the power that we can tune into when we follow Aset. Right? And the translation, these words are spoken by Goddess Aset. I come to you in a role as your protector. I blow from me to you the liberating and rejuvenating air from the north, with fullness of consciousness, which cleanses your nose to the nostrils for your body. This air comes in the form of the god Temu, who is in the north, which is the spirit essence of Ra, the source and sustenance of all life, and the successful completion of the spiritual journey. I have collected the pieces of your heart, of your throat for you, so you can breathe and live. I pieced your throat back together and cleared obstructions to the air from Temu that conveys the vital life force. So now you have the capacity to experience unobstructed vitality. Now you do not have internal obstructions to existing as a conscious living being. I have given to you the capacity to exist in the form of a god, and in your presence I present to you your enemies which have fallen under your feet. So now you do not have external obstructions to existing in your divine form. By doing these things, I, the goddess of intuitional wisdom, the embodiment of wisdom, have caused for you to have a divine state in heaven, over which you have power and dominion, and all the gods and goddesses behold you. Chapter 1. Jo Aset, Jo Aset Ma, and Jo Aset Chakra. Sharing these teachings with us. Let's see. I have a moment. Okay, I'm drawing a blank with the melody that I usually play for this, so just gonna do. Better Jayanas, Iron and Sake, Unakenabu, if I connected to, in Sharia Bouquet, Pertin Taboo, second I get, high Tabuke, Ine Adem, KM the Captain you can care Tabby care, say my care, que umuku seju, Maneteru. Merujayana. Ayanim sake. Odenake nabu. Ifeke nekitu. And share apuke. Pertintu. Second I K. Haji apuke. Eddie in a boom. And KM the chair. Captain you can care. Care Debbie care. Say my care. They uma kusechu. Maneteru. Meru Jayana. Ayadum sake. Unenake nabu. If they can make it too. Shere apuke. Pretend to move. Second I K. Haji apuke. Eddie in a boom. And K in the tear. Captain you can care. Care Tabby care. Say my care. They can move to sit to. Maneteru. So that is the speech of Aset, for our protection. Because remember, what was trusted that through the experience between Aset and Ra, that anytime Heru is in danger or poisoned, or since we are also spiritual aspiration, that when we are injured or poisoned, that we can also be brought back to life, or in Asar's case, we will be brought forth into eternity. I have one more song to offer today. Oh man, I have two. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going because there's no time limit. And that's just the way I am. Oops. I don't seem to have that one here. Oops. Maybe since I don't have it, I'm not going to do it. I had it. I'm looking for lyrics to a song I wanted to. Oh, wait. I know where it is. Here it is. I had it. Okay. So this is one of the teachings from the Temple of Aset. And it's called Tami Ra. And it's a point in the myth of Aset and Ra at the beginning, when she was acknowledging that she was disillusioned with life on earth, and she wanted to be like, she was trying to say, I want to be like the gods and goddesses. She wanted to be a sage, and she decided she wanted to be like Ra. She wanted to learn how to transcend time and space. And so the translation is, and this is straight from the scriptures. I don't know what page it is. Let's see. I apologize. I don't have the page or even the verse. I just wrote down the translation. It's somewhere in the beginning, so let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I could sing chants from these teachings for days and days. It's hard to just. That's why I started following the calendar, because it already is chosen for me what I'm going to be offering. Okay, well, here it is. It's verse 11 through 13, pages 40 and 41 of the Ms. of Aset and Ra text. And if you're interested in learning more about this, you can purchase the book by Dr. Monty Ashby, and you can take the class at the Temple of Ascent. So the translation is, be like Ra, to become divine as he, a divinity as he, by appropriating for myself the divine knowledge as he has, and then on earth while alive I could be a netter. Reflecting she in her heart, it should be possible to accomplish this lofty goal by becoming wise to the divine name of Ra, the exalted name, the saintly, virtuous, spiritual name of Ra. Trying it on heart. Like I said, this was actually originally a reggae song. Tamira, Arikita, Tamira, Arikita, Tamira, Arikita, Tamira, Arikita, Cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset. Yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi. Tommy wrong, I make it down. Tommy wrong, I make it down the ten. Tommy wrong, I make it down. Tommy wrong, I make it down the ten. Cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset, cause I'm upset. Yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi, yeah, that grand Jeshepsi. That is a chance so that we may also learn to be like Ra. Follow the guidance of Aset and receive the wisdom of Aset, trust the intuition of Aset, and receive the protection of Aset. That is the intention for this program. All right, and okay, yes, the one I forgot. It's probably the most important song I've ever written, past, present, or future. And what's okay. All right, so this is also from the teachings of the Temple of Aset. You can take this wonderful class at Kemet University after you've taken the introductory level classes, or you can just buy the book. But it's really important for studies at this level to have a spiritual preceptor. So this song is called "Made in the Shade," and it's a list of instructions, like a summary of the most important points of the teachings of Aset. And in one class, Saved by Ma, Dr. Ashley was saying, if you can do all of these things, you'll have it made in the shade. So I called it Made in the Shade. And it's actually a song written with the rhythms of, what's called Afro-Cuban music, like salsa, like Tito Puente vibe, with blazing horn section and like 100 percussionists and a bass player and a guitarist and sax player and a flute player and me playing the matumbo. So that is how when I record this song, I'll be recording it two ways. One with the ancient African and adorations with the harp and the percussion and the sistrum, and then another version will be with my band. So today I can only do one instrument at a time, so I'm going to just use my little drum. And I don't know I'm not a percussionist, I don't know any traditional Afro-Cuban rhythms, so I'm just playing. I guess it sounds like something like that. Check the God and I didn't read the translation. Okay, Made in the Shade. Relentless pursuit of Nahas, enlightenment, which is the true purpose of life. Everything else should be helping us attain enlightenment, because our true purpose is enlightenment. Anken is unending, never stopping. You can make changes, but never stop your pursuit of enlightenment. Never stop living by these teachings of Aset. Never stop living by the Ma'at wisdom. Sefu, patience, endurance, even while sleeping. Even while you're sleeping, you're striving for enlightenment. You're striving to be like Ra. You're striving to follow the goddess Ascent. Majed, insisting with confidence and patience, perseverance, staying stood up regardless of no matter what's going on. No matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. That's another song from the Temple of Aset wisdom teachings. Then the next one is let it go, letting go, Kak-Ab. Kak-Ab is one of the most important steps in this process of enlightenment. Dispassionate detachment, letting go of the world, letting go of worldliness, letting go of materialism. It doesn't mean stop living on earth. It just means letting go of your attachment to your worldliness. It doesn't mean stop eating. It means stop being attached to food. It doesn't mean stop working. It means stop being driven by a pursuit of money and greed. And then Jedina Renake, that's what Aset said to Ra when she wanted to know the name of Ra. Jedina Renake, tell me your name. Tell me your divine name. Tell me your name divine so I can be like you, Tami Ra. And then Uhao is trust, surrender. Trust the process, trust your teachers, trust your intuition, trust the teachings of the ancestors, trust your higher self, not your ego. Okay. So that is the translation of the song Made in the Shade. And some of these songs are already available on my Blue Lotus Speaks Volume 1 CD. And the majority of songs have yet to be recorded. And I'm working on getting them recorded this year. That's why I'm taking a break from my studies at Kemet University. Because I keep learning more teachings and writing more songs, and they're just sitting on my phone. My phone is full. I have no more room on my phone. I've got to, do something with these songs. Dua Aset Hatep. Do it to those of you who tuned in and joined me. Do it to those of you who are watching the replay. And thank you so much for tuning in to these ancient African adorations, observances of the holy day from the Nigerian calendar of holy days presented by Temple of Amun. You can get your calendar at templeofamun.com. And do us a Rama, do us a job for presenting all of these wonderful wisdom teachings that have, I know they've changed my life and they've changed the lives of many others. And you still have the opportunity to study with these spiritual preceptors online, and they even do some teachings in person, although not since the scamdemic. It's all online. However, if you go to EgyptianYoga.com, you can find out the latest happenings. You can find out about the Sunday morning devotional worship, and which I was on for many years. And yep, I think that's it. Dua Aset. And the next, let's see, what is the next episode? I have the calendar of events, the schedule of events posted on these announcements. So we have a few more for this month. We have 4 more for the month. And then if you follow the celestial calendar, we also have 2 of those events. So the next event for Ancient African Adorations, that's the calendar put out by Temple of Amun, is Tuesday, October 12th. And I'm pretty sure that's in the evening. Don't remember exactly, but you'll see the schedule. And then October 14th, October 12th, the black land is given to Heru, the red land is given to Set. October 14th, festival establishing Heru as king, the appearance before Ptah. And then October 25th, we have another feast of Amun. We have the feast of Asar and Abydos. And on the 28th, the day of transformation into the Bennu bird. And then the celestial events on the calendar is October 24th, which is the full moon, and October 31st. It's called Halloween, but it's actually the time of the Days of the Dead. On November 1st is called the Days of the Dead in other calendars. It's a time to honor the ancestors. It's a portal that opens between the living and the realm of dead. And then, of course, I'll be posting the November calendar shortly after that. All right. So if you're enjoying these presentations, you can easily make a donation to Asmakashi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds. And the links will be posted in the replay and the... I haven't been putting them in the announcement post, but they are in replays. Okay. So Dua Hatep. Oh, let me see if there was any more questions. Gratitude. Thank you for being here. Your gift is a presence. Your presence is a gift to me. And Amara, I will give you a call. Your call came through during the transmission, so I will be giving you a call shortly. Dua Hatep.